This channel doesn't have any content. Well, well, well. Hey there, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Hope you have something warm to drink. It's been an interesting last few days in my house. We had the power go out. It was dark. It was well below freezing for about 2 days in a row. But I think overall it was good. It's good to be thrown out of your routine sometimes. I just walked outside, enjoyed the snow, which comes really rarely in Texas, and read a little, played some cards, did some music, etc. Which, speaking of all those things, is a really interesting kind of way certain people relate to me. They kind of call me, they find out I do cards and they're like, "Oh, you're the card guy. What's up, card guy?" Or maybe they find out I do music and they're like, "You're the music guy." Or, martial arts and I'm the martial arts guy, whatever. I don't know. I think there's a lot I could say about that. Maybe we'll talk about that sometime. It's kind of weird being associated or boiled down to or named after one of the things I do or one of the things I happen to be interested in. I guess it's nice for people to be able to compartmentalize, but I just think of myself as a human being. It's like if I'm sitting there and eating a meal, I'm just enjoying the food, I'm taking it in, I'm laughing with the company. I'm not necessarily thinking about cards or whatever. I don't know. But one interesting thing is that I rarely have someone call me the history guy. Oh, you do history or whatever. I think maybe because it's less visually or less catchy to the senses, or less flashy, maybe is the word I'm saying. It's less less arresting maybe visually or audibly compared to some of the other things I do. But my goodness, I don't know. I did get my master's in history, and all of the research, all of the gathering of sources, all of the wading through that stuff, it takes an unbelievable amount of time and effort for me. And to work through all of that, the methodology is, I feel like very complex and it's a very daunting process sometimes. Well, speaking of that, the reason why I bring that up is because of this. The Ravenswood Facebook page, maybe about a week ago, I posted. So we've been gathering all the Wong Hunfa materials, all these martial writings, sword, staff, empty hand, theory, medicine, all this stuff, and bringing it to the wider audience. All the books I've tracked down, I've been just uploading it and trying to share this and preserve this school. Wong Hunfa's son did a 6-part lecture series. Each one of these lectures was about 45 minutes long. Let's see. Yeah, about maybe an average. Like one would be an hour, one would be 30 minutes. The fact that Wong Hunfa's own son, I was trying so much to gather all of these works and that were by Wong Hunfa and share them and preserve them. And the fact that his own son now is using them, like using the images from our archives to lecture on his father's work, to go into greater detail, to share those lectures with everyone. It's just awesome. It really is. And he has the academic background. He has the proximity. It's just a wonderful thing. And they were very detailed. He'd have this dummy and he'd be talking about the 8 places to hit. He would be talking about walking through all the 12 key words, all these different formulas in Mantis, all these different little bits of history. Very, very, it wasn't just someone talking and kind of vaguely gesturing for 5 minutes. This was in-depth stuff and a very good resource. Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with everything he says, but if you're interested in Wong Hun Fun's materials, this is someone who was very close to the source there. He was there training, etc. A very good resource to have in terms of seeing what that particular source says in terms of his proximity to Wong Hun Fun, all of these things. There's always aspects why it would be good, right? This was a week ago. 7 days later, this channel doesn't have any content. Well. They're all gone. This is such a huge, interesting lesson in preserving the stuff you want to preserve. Whether it's a 4K video that was published today, or whether it's a book that's 100 years old. So many people, I feel like, leave it to others to kind of, oh, well, that website will always be there, those pictures will always be there, those videos will always be there. And I don't know if it's a modern mentality, or if it's just a human thing. Like, you know, people have their lives, which is fine. But I encourage you, if you are interested in something, take a little time and back up all of the things that you're interested in, whether it's text, photos, video, the stuff you want as a resource. Don't just assume that someone else is going to hold on to it for you. Sources are alive. It's alive. Sources shrink, like what we saw here. This was a channel that had 6 videos, now they're gone. Sources grow. I've shared, like, I'll have maybe let's say I found an online archive that had 3 books in it that were of interest to the people that I keep company with. I've shared that archive link with them, 3 books. And you're like, oh, thank you. Then maybe a year and a half later, I share something that's entirely new. And they're like, oh, wait, well, where'd you get this? Where'd you find this? Get over here, you guys, you gotta see this. It's from the same link I sent before, or from the same archive, or from the same online library, or from the same random person posting videos on YouTube, or from this or that or whatever. It's from someone that I've kept track of, that maybe you gave their channel or their archives or their resources a glance through years ago, and then you just kind of wrote it off. But then later on, they've added something. The source has grown. And it's not called searching, it's called researching. Sometimes I hate those corny word things, those little word games people come up with, and like, sometimes it's not very educational, but this time I think it is. Research. You're re-investigating. You're going back and looking at sources you saw years ago. You're going back to see if they've added something, if they've changed something. I was telling someone else about the Wayback Machine, for example. The ability to look up a website after it's been deleted. It's just... research is an art and craft, and it's very hard to do. I'm not saying everyone should be able to do it any more than I'm saying everyone should be able to do plumbing or brain surgery or this or that. I mean, everyone has their own different skills, and I've definitely called on people who had other skills that were way outside of my area of expertise. That was my area of expertise that I was very ignorant on. But at the very least, even if you don't know research methodology, you can at least back up stuff that you want to save, Back it up. It's that simple. It's so easy nowadays. You just click and drag a digital file from, the page onto a folder on your desktop, where you download the video or whatever it is. Don't assume someone else is going to keep it for you. Most of the things I'm interested in, I've made really big efforts to make sure that I'll have those resources 30 years from now. Now, you know, some things can always happen, accidents can always happen, etc. But I would encourage you to don't take resources for granted and kind of make your own sort of database of things to go over and things that you're going to guard and things that you're going to keep researching. People always say on, you know, these different sides of arguments, well, just do your research. Research is, there are ways to do it and there are wrong ways to do it. So maybe we'll have to make some videos sometime. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some videos on how to do research, how to find certain sources you're interested in, how to tell the quality of a source. Who knows? But yeah, this is just one good example. Back up your stuff, because you never know when it's going to disappear, whether it's a modern video or a 100-year-old manuscript. Keep researching, keep studying, keep training. Stay warm, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. Cheers.